Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and today we are here in Destiny 2 again because I was reactivating one of my old hunter builds and was adjusting it with some advices from YouTubers in their builds, and at the end I ended up on this build like that. um, Yeah, we are on Ox Strider Hunter and we are using the Gifted Conviction, um, the Gift of Certainty. Activating a Scansion or Tempest Strike throws bouncing explosives at nearby targets that jolt and damage them. Jolting nearby targets grants you damage resistance. So this build is a lot onto jolting and basically the Scansion and Tempest Strike combination. Um, Let's have a look at the build. I prefer to run the Gathering Storm because it does a lot of damage and it's jolting the targets around. Storm's Edge, I don't really like it because you're always blinking through the area, and I also never really like the Arc Staff. Maybe it's okay for ad clearing, but I really like the Gathering Storm, especially for boss DPS. And you will see how extremely fast we are going to get the Gathering Storm later. So it's definitely probably the best super for this build. Then we're definitely going to use Gambler's Dodge, to perform a deft tumble, avoiding combatant attacks and generate melee ability energy. Energy gain is scaled by your melee stat. Dodging near enemies increases their energy gain. So basically, as soon as you dodge, you will get melee energy back, and if you are beside enemies, you will get back more. I'm running a 200 melee stat. I will get a full refund even if I'm not beside any enemies. Even though you probably will try to get a higher class stat instead of a higher super stat here. I was a bit unlucky with those stats at the bottom, but I got 100 health and I got 200 in melee. Is quite okay like that. Then jump, use whatever you like. I prefer a triple jump. I can't work with a blink. Maybe I need to try that one day. Then the combination blow or the disorienting blow, whatever you prefer. For me, as we are going to use combination blow, or better said, Tempest Strike, Ascension, Tempest Strike, always in combination. The combination blow makes more sense as you will increase your melee damage when defeating a target with it, and this is going to stack up to 3 times, so it makes actually the most sense here, I guess. Also, defeating targets with this grants class ability energy and restores a small amount of health. Energy gain is scaled by your class stat. That's why you want a high class stat. I currently don't get it fully back as long as I only hit one target. The more targets you hit, the more stuff you get back, or you just need a higher stat on it, not like me. But if you go up to about 80 or 90, you should get it back as soon you hit a single target. Then for the grenade, I like the pulse grenade. You can probably run whatever you like. Doesn't really matter in my opinion. Then for the artifacts, or the aspects, not the artifacts, aspects, whatever. You're definitely going to need the Tempest Strike. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to unleash a devastating uppercut attack that travels along the ground in front of you, damaging and jolting targets it hits. Defeating jolted targets grants a stack of Bolt Charge. And we are going to use Ascension. Long press while airborne, consuming class ability energy to summon your Arc Staff, propelling yourself upward and creating a burst of energy around you that amplifies allies and jolts targets. So you're probably just going to be using Tempest Strike, then Ascension. You're going to jolt everything that is around you with that, doing damage with the jolting, and the possible um, bolt charge you're going to get from that. So pretty strong and efficient in ad clear, efficient in damaging opponents. Probably not the most efficient in multiplayer contests on boss damage, especially not if you do multiplayer stuff solo, like I tried to, because then you're just going to have troubles, especially if you're not having constant waves of enemy around, because killing enemies is what keeps you alive. Yeah. And here you're going to run at the fragments Spark of Feedback. Taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage. Is quite nice to play, but I don't think if it is a must-have, because you can also run your Tempest Strike from further away. But it's definitely one of the best options down here. Spark of Recharge, while critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. Is nice to have, but as you're literally going to have unlimited dodging and melee, you will rarely need it. So you can swap that out for, I don't know, Spark of Haste, Spark of Instinct if you want to jolt with your grenades, or I don't know, Spark of Shock. Wait, that's the wrong one. That's not the one where the grenades jolt, that's the one with the grenade jolt. Yeah, or here. Everything that gives you bolt charge, or I don't know, like defeating a jolted target with bolt charge creates an ionic trace, is what we're going to use anyway. But like something like this, Spark of Discharge is very nice. Other weapon final blows have a chance to create ionic traces. Collecting an ionic trace grants you bolt charge. You're going to create ionic traces, quite a few, and you will get a lot of bolt charge too, so quite useful. After sprinting for a short time, your class ability regeneration is increased. Is also nice to have, especially if you happen to run out of class ability energy. What can actually happen from time to time if you do not hit everything with your Tempest Strike? While surrounded by competence, you are more resistant to incoming damage. Very important, especially as we are going to run a melee build. Spark of Ions, defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with bolt charge creates an ionic trace. Well, just with the problem right now that it doesn't really help us. But yeah. If you maybe swap out one of those out, like the recharge, for something where you collect both an ionic trace and get buff from collecting ionic traces, then you can make this thing even better. But for me, this is like literally how I prefer to play right now, because it makes really fun. Now to the armor. The helmet, I run double hands on for bonus super energy on melee kills and kinetic siphon, because I like to play it with a praxic blade, or you run it with a harmonic siphon, what also works very well if you run arc weapons. Then you can use the ferropretent, no, not the ferropretent grips, but I use them. What do I have here? I have twice a heavy-handed and a focusing strike. Your power melee final blows create orbs of power and grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a powered melee attack. I'm not sure if you need twice a heavy-handed, but I prefer it for some additional healing. And the focusing strike is very useful because you're going to get more class ability energy back when you do damage with your melee, what we are basically doing all the time. Just improving the buff of a Tempest Strike. On the Gifted Conviction, you're basically just using resistant mods. The boots, I prefer Absolution, Recuperation, and Invigoration, where the Invigoration can probably be exchanged to another Recuperation, or whatever you prefer here. Absolution is reducing our ability cooldowns each time you pick up an orb of power. Recuperation replenishes health each time you pick up an orb of power, and invigoration reduces the melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. What is not necessarily needed because our melee will rarely run out. And if the melee runs out, it's because we're fighting a boss target, and as long as we do not make kill through the melee, we're not gonna get orbs of power. So this won't help that much. So I actually like to run double recuperation here for extra health on our pickups. So yeah, or you run it with double absolution, also possible. Then on the cape or the cloak, you run powerful attraction. Automatically collects nearby orbs of power when you activate your class ability. Is what I think is really useful and needed because you use your Ascension all the time after doing your Tempest strikes, so you will always collect the orbs of power you created, and reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. Is just what I use to make it a bit more easier to get energy back. Is not necessarily needed. You can also use a special finisher here or whatever you need. But this is what I prefer to play with because you're just getting even more energy stuff back. And yeah, highest stat for me is melee, then health for some more health per orb and a better shield recharge rate. Plus, I sadly have a high super stat. You don't really need a super stat because your hands on here, or your heavy handed here is no, the hands on the helmet. The hands on here on the helmet is going to give you super energy a lot, so you don't need a crazy high super stat. I would prefer a high class stat if you can. I'm still trying to get better armor because I have two pieces with just 35 melee. What is not perfect. But yeah, about the weapons, I really like to run the Praxic Blade for anti-barrier champions especially, or in combination with Tenacious Mastery for slowing down. You can discharge Bolt Charge with it, and it does crazy amount of damage, slowing and freezing good against unstoppable champions, just as your Jolt. Then you can use any bow like here. You can use a Trinity Ghoul, you can use any weapon that has a Jolt Shot on it or a Rolling Storm. Amazing is our weapons that have a Rolling Storm and a Trickle Charge in combination because you will never have to reload them. During the arms rig right now, I really fell in love with the King Orfeo here with the explosive head and jolting feedback. Yeah, okay, Master Candling could be better, but just makes super much fun like that. And yeah, you will see in the gameplay later why I play it. Heavy weapon also you can play whatever you like, preferable arc weapons in my opinion. I like to run the good shout though from time to time because it weakens targets, especially with my roll, with the Withering Gaze and the Destabilizing Rounds. Void debuffs with weakening, always strong for extra damage. You can call the Bolt Charge with it, and it's bow, so you can use the Tungsten Bowstring for extra damage. But you can also run the Bitter End if you have it from the dungeon. I'm having it with a Trickle Charge and the Jolting Feedback. Is okay roll, not the best, but the Jolting Feedback on it is good. And another way to stun champions. Yes, I have nothing with an overload on it, but the Praxi can stun the overload from the Bolt Charge, the King Orfeo with the Jolting Feedback, the Bitter End with the Jolting Feedback, the Scansion and the Tempest Strike can jolt them too, and so on. For the artifacts, yeah, I basically recommend Dielectric and Elemental Orbs Arc. Else, basically just whatever you need for your build to work. Like if you play swords, take the sword one with you. It's very useful, and especially the impact shock gravity is useful. And here, whatever mods you require for your weapons to work. So with that said, let's hop into the activities. If I hover over the solder tab, you can already see they're literally nowhere. Okay, now at the creation, because I didn't literally well, I played the creation, but I got some bonus drops again. I played them all on the highest difficulty. It's super easy and gives you very good rewards. The Caldera one is probably one of the easiest with this build. After that, I would say the salt mines with the Taken. K1 logistics totally was shit. Typhon Imperator, I got unlucky and had a run with Scorn. Didn't like it at all. Creation sucks in my opinion, because you have to conquer platforms and you have to stand on a platform and can't run in and use your melee build, what makes this map a bit of a disadvantage. Conflux was surprisingly well. I expected it to be worse, but it went really well. I did it without dying. Skywatch also is okay. If you're unlucky and have Hive, the wizards are going to suck because they're a bit above the ground and it will take a long time to kill them. But let's hop into this one, what is actually my favorite, and let's go for a small run. Just because again, I'm gonna add the arc search and I'm going to make a heavyweight in. Oh, that was accident. Then I will also add some stuff here. For example, solar anti-search, that I need less solar damage. I don't care because I don't play solar. A defeated challenging combatants drop fire at the location. If you want to, you can do that. And we will beat you and get a 526 gear. Ah, that's okay. Launch. Weapons around Praxic Blade, King Orpheus and the Bitter End. Praxic Blade, very important here. Impact Core. The melee damage from this weapon grants Bolt Charge. So each hit you get 1 Bolt Charge. So after 10 hits you're going to discharge a Bolt Charge hit, and that's just going to do a crazy amount of damage. Amplified here is very useful because you're going to get damage reduction and you're harder to hit. You can also use as an energy counter, but
yeah. On the world fueled the scramble to fill a power vacuum. Now everyone's fighting to consolidate its territory. We've replaced the universal threat with a bunch of local ones.
Believe it or not, that's good
let's hope I'm not messing up with locations. Gotta be careful here again that I'm not getting into the stun field. Yeah, not a stun field today. All around, there's Arc Staff, there's Kenshin, and the Minotaur's instantly dead. Lightning is there. Shoot this thing, it explodes. Shoot those things and they explode. Let's try to do a bit of faster run, please. Hunter, a bit faster, please. You're gonna be called to be fast. So then we have here the advantage right now that there is ability takedowns complete, which is quite easy with this build. It's an ability build. So first champion taken care of. Stunning with the bow, laser with the machine gun. Champions taken care of. No problems at all. And even if they're all at the same time. see why I like the King Orfeo. You're doing so much damage with the arc weapons. We're risking it there to destroy the... Damn! Those things don't want to get destroyed today. Okay, last one. Gotta be... over there. Champion. Champion taken care of. So this is the way you take down 4 champions without any struggles. Those disgusting guys up there. Oh no. This is the worst thing that can happen. That you get stuck by a suppression field. Ah, I should not have jumped up there. Damn, where am I? Up there. Damn. That's why I should use the weapons I have. Because I wouldn't have died with it. That shit if I would not use something enough to jump up there. Oh my goodness. I could have done that so easy without dying, especially after I took out the champions without problems. Then I fuck up Tempest Strike and then I was get stuck in this field. It was unlucky, but hey, where's my out? Here I, for some reason, didn't get my attention. I have no idea why, but I didn't get it. Even though I hit 2 targets with a melee. Yeah. Let's try this shit down there. Oh, first try this time. Perfect. Yeah. The death was unnecessary, but I'm actually happy at night because even if you die inside this stupid field, you're much faster than if you need to fight your way out of it. So I actually save time with the dying over there. Train. Whatever. Discharge. Yeah. Here. Tempest Strike back, please. Yeah, the boss room. What can get difficult here is if you're having the mandals. So look at the time, I have 4 minutes 53 left. I'm gonna use the super, and look at my super now, how fast I get it back. That was not intentional. Ow. Gotta shoot all this shit here. Who's shooting at me? Who's shooting at me? Stop shooting at me. Destroy this thing. Boss is ready. I already got half of my super back. Damage. Just to remind you, 25% is increased. Right through with a single hit. Well, those two guys, and I had my super pack, and that was not even 2 minutes with little opponents around. So there's the other ones down there again. Come down here, boss. 2 minutes 55. I'm slower than yesterday. And yesterday I was stuck in the stun field for an eternity and didn't find my way. Boss dead. Station back. Woohoo! And we're going to get loot. Oh, that's kind of short. Chest piece. As if I need a chest piece. No, 527, okay. Don't complain about it then. Don't complain about it. But yes, that's about the build. I hope you like it, and see you guys in the next one.